gig, you're fired. 1,000 workers at the VA, fired. 2,000 workers at the Department of Energy, fired. 3,000 workers at the U.S. Forest Service, fired. And 1/10 of the CDC was fired too. It's all happening over Zoom. They log on, get fired, and are made to evacuate the building in 30 minutes. Elon just called himself the weed killer.
We do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. It's kind of like leaving a weed. If you don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back.
Musk says, how many agencies do you really need to run a country? 99? Not 450, that's for sure. Musk is a corporate turnaround artist, and the government's his new pet project. The world's richest man's been sleeping on a couch and sometimes the floor of the Eisenhower building. Just yesterday, Elon and Big Balls gutted $115 million of fat federal contracts, and they've gotten the libertarians turned on.
The United States should not be the sugar daddy for the entire world. $15 million was awarded to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan to distribute oral contraceptives and condoms. USAID spent $32,000 in Peru to create a comic featuring a trans hero to address social and mental health issues. What does that have to do with diplomacy? I guess the U.S. is now the travel agent for the entire world since they spent $50 million on Tunisia's tourism. USAID gave $87.9 million to help Afghans farm, and incidentally, farm poppy, the plant from which opium is extracted. As of 2021, Afghanistan supplied 90% of the world's heroin. I thought the saying in the U.S. was just say no to drugs. How about we just say no to wasteful foreign aid?
We helped the Taliban grow heroin and then left them $7 billion of Black Hawk helicopters, Humvees, and RPGs. Some of the newer money we're sending doesn't make any sense.
If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID.
Why is Biden sending millions of dollars to women in Afghanistan to go to college when the Taliban doesn't let women go to college? It's like sending condoms to the Vatican. What's the point? We're sending all of that money, and we have nothing to show for it.
USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built. Why would there be any evidence? The Inspector General can't get in to see them. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school. Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody else got the money. You are paying for terrorism.
We sent $136 million to Pakistan to build schools, and they never built any. And we kept sending them money. This money is either being stolen, it's a bribe, or a subcontractor is getting a huge kickback. And we're still pouring money into Pakistan after they hid bin Laden for a decade. Why? Pakistan shouldn't get another penny. The government spent almost $3 trillion on improper payments over the course of the last decade. $3 trillion. And it skyrocketed under Biden. Look at that. DOJ said housing and urban development misplaced $2 billion. Just lost track of it. Thank goodness Big Balls found it. It was squirreled away in some random account that HUD forgot about. How do you tell your boss that? Mr. Secretary, you know that $2 billion? Can't seem to find it. Now everyone wants in on DOJ. Billionaire Airbnb co-founder Joe Gebbia is volunteering at DOJ to help cut the fat faster. And he's not a right-wing budget hawk. He's a Hillary and Biden donor. Trump and Doge are inspiring every American leader to set their standards sky high. In a leaked phone call, J.P. Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon can be heard laying down the gauntlet to all of his bankers.
A lot of you were on the Zoom, and you were doing the following, okay? You know, looking at your mail, sending texts to each other about what an the other person is, okay? Not paying attention, not reading your stuff, you know, and if you don't think that slows down efficiency, creativity, creates rudeness, and stuff, it does, okay? You don't do that in my meetings. You go to meet with me, you got my attention, you got my focus. I don't bring my phone. I'm not sending texts to people, okay? Don't give me the work from home Friday works. I call a lot of people on Friday. There's not a person you get a hold of. If I was ready to depart with 100 people, I guarantee you, if I wanted to, I could run it with 90 and be more efficient. I guarantee you, I could do it in my sleep. You know, I've been working 7 days a week since COVID, and I come in and where's everybody else? They're here and there, and the Zooms don't show up, and people say they didn't get stuff. So that's not how you run a great company. We didn't build this great company by doing that, by doing the same semi-disease that everybody else does.
Work from home Fridays isn't going to fly in the golden age. American bosses are watching Trump go hard and are like, hybrid's over, time to grind. And so far, the country loves the new spirit. An Axios focus group of Arizona swing voters say they're 100% behind what Trump and Elon are doing. One of them says, keep it coming. This country was forged by pioneers. This isn't a lazy nation like some of you nations out there. You know who I'm talking about, Canada. When the American president is on the front lines and he charges the enemy, the country charges too. So while most Americans are charging up this same hill, a lot of Democrats are holding us back.
It is unacceptable, unconstitutional, ultra-vires. They've exceeded their authority. And so it's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law, because Elon Musk, individuals at the Treasury, and the President of these United States is not above the law.
You're going to hear the dog whistle that Trump and Musk like to say. We're reading out fraud, waste, and abuse. We're looking at efficiency. That's a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Tish James is the woman who tried to bankrupt the man who's now trying to save the country from bankruptcy. She can sit this one out. And since when is weeding out waste a dog whistle? It's not. Bill Clinton and Barack Obama were into weeding out waste too. How would this guy like it if someone stole his checkbook and wrote a check out for Jose to get a sex change in Guatemala? It's not racist to rip up that check. It's the right thing to do. Democrats' only strategy is to sing, swear, and sue and try to turn Trump against Elon.
Elon called me. He said, you know, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
You can see more of that Trump-Elon interview on Hannity on Tuesday